Hello everyone. So we are starting off with the next half of the 2013 CSAT paper. So beginning from question number 42, once we have this paragraph. So on this basis, question 42 states according to the passage, which of the following statements is most likely to be true as the reason for the man's miseries. So on the basis of the gist, I believe that it should be the refusal on the part of the man to change his character. And as per the answer key as well, B option is the right answer. Coming to question 43, on the basis of paragraph itself, we have to identify the right answer with reference to the passage. Following assumptions have been made. So here, none of these statements is correct. So answer is D. Question number 44. So we are given this pattern, and on the basis of again the sequence which is given to us in four of these diagrams, we have to identify what can be the next one, the fifth one. So here, if you try to understand the movement of these two objects which are given in this figure, I believe it should be option number 2, option B, which is the right answer here. Because if we explain it further, we see that this triangle, it is moving in this pattern like this. So it should be moving like this. So in the fifth one here, we see the triangle is here. So it should be in this place, in the fifth one, which is, you can see here. And this sun, which is there, so it is moving in this direction. So you can see that earlier it was here, then it moved down, and then here, and then here. So next it should be in this position, which is, you can see, is here. So option B should be the right answer here, which is the correct option. Then on similar basis, question 45, which states again, you have to identify the pattern after this figure, what should be the right option. So you can see that firstly, if you trace down the changes in the location of this circle, so it is moving in this direction. First it will move here, then from this it will move to this position, and then again next here it is there. So in the fifth one it should be moving to this vertex, which you can see is there in this option and in this option. Then in the direction of these arrows, so one you can see it is alternative, downside and upside, downside, upside, next would be downside. So which is there because here it is pointing towards the north. So this is the right answer for 45. In 46 again, the basis is similar. So for this, you will again identify how the pattern, the movement has been changing. And this direction of these arrows is more, we can say, interesting and to be focused upon. So on that basis, option B is the right answer for 46. In 47, we say ki X men working at constant speed. The important thing is constant speed. They do a certain job in Y days. Which one of these diagrams shows the relation between X and Y? So constant. So this is the shape of the graph which showcases the constant nature of work being done. Okay, so I think this is wrong here. It should be for 47. It is D. This is the thing, like more number of men are working, the less days are being taken up. So this is the right option here. In 48, we have to identify the pattern and what can be the value of X here. So I just simply used the logic of that 3 plus 4, 7, 2 plus 4 is 6, 1 plus 4 should be 5. However, again, this is not the right pattern here. So here the right solution is 9. So you'll have to identify what is the relation between these two figures here, which I skipped and was a mistake. So C is the right option. In 49, we see we are given with the mileage of a car. the time taken for travel and the total payment on the basis of rupees 6 per kilometer plus the cost of diesel at rupees 40 a liter. So we have to identify which car maintained the maximum average speed. So for this, what equation we'll be using, because we are not given with the distance. So we'll have to calculate the distance first, and then on that basis, using this formula, speed is equal to distance upon time, we have to calculate the average speed. So equation for car A would be like 6 into A. A we have assumed as to be the distance. 6, we are given 6 rupees per kilometer would be charged. So multiplied with the total distance, first half is stating that. Then we'll add this, and since again we are given the charges, rupees 40 a liter would be charged for again distance and upon the mileage that is there. So here we will be able to get the total, or we can say the liter of petrol that would be used. So this should be equal to 2120, which is again all these figures are given for 4 different cars which are there. So we'll get the value of A if you calculate, and then we'll calculate the average speed which is being asked in the question. So for each four, you'll have to calculate the average speed, and you will be able to get the right answer. Here it would be car A is having the highest or the maximum average speed, which would be somewhere more than 9. Now we have to again find the value of this place, identifying again the pattern. So pattern would be like we'll be multiplying 12 and 14. So 12 into 14 give us 168. We divide by 2 and then we get the value of 84. Similarly, in this case also multiply 9 into 18, we get 162. Divide by 2, we get 81. Here also, this would be the equation. If you can just place the value of this, we'll have to find the value of y, which will turn out to be 16. You'll just have to simplify this equation. Now in question number 51, we have to find the value of A and B on the basis of the values given here in the all the three figures. So, and you can also look at the options also to get answer in more less of time. So if I just got the answer on the basis of analyzing this particular figure, so 5 and 3, if you twist this in this direction, in this position, the box, so the vertical figure remains same, which should be 3. So B would be 3, which is the only one option which is given here. So option A becomes the right answer. Multiple questions on the basis of the figure. One graph and one pie chart is given to us. So here, this one is showcasing a number of professors in selected disciplines in university according to the sex. Male and female numbers are given. Here you can see the subjects which are mentioned. The pie chart is showcasing us again the age of the physics professors only. This is only for the physics. So these are the different ages and their share. So 52 question states that how many physics professors belong to the age group of 35 to 44. We have to find the number of physics professors. So this is for physics. First, we'll calculate what is the total number of physics professors. So you'll add 32 and here 8, which is for the female physics professors. So it will be 40 total physics professors. And then we are already given that within this age, 35 to 44, which is the 40% share. So we'll calculate 40% of 40 value, which will be 16. So 16 is the right answer for 52. In 53, which one of the following disciplines has the highest ratio of males to females? We have to calculate the ratio and in which of these disciplines. So first we'll have to calculate the total value of both males and females for each subject, and then you will calculate the ratio for males to females. So it will turn out to be the highest in case of physics, which will be 4:1. If you just have a look here, so it would be A, which is physics 53. In 54, what percentage of all the psychology professors are male? What percentage it is asking of all psychology professors? So first, again, we'll calculate the total number of psychology professors, which will be this totaling 4 and 6. So it will be 10. And we have to calculate the percentage of females within this. So females are given to be 6 in number, so we'll calculate 6. Total are 10. Divide by 10 into 100. for the percentage aspect, so it will be 60%. C is correct for 54. And then 55, if the number of female physics professors in the age group 25 to 34 equals 25% of all the physics professors in that age group, we have to calculate what is the number of male physics professors in the same age group. So total, we know total physics professors are 40 in number. And here if we calculate 30% of the 40, because in terms of this age group 25 to 34, you can see this is 30%, which is given to us, so it will turn out to be 12. So out of 12, it is stating that 25% are female, so we'll calculate 25% of 12. From here it will be 3 are female physics professors. We have to calculate the number of male, so we'll just deduct 12 minus 3, we'll be left with 9. So A is the right option. Now, on the basis of the same question and the data given, if the psychology professors in the university constitute 2% of all the professors in the university, we have to calculate the total number of professors in the university. So we are given that 2% is equal to 10 professors because it is for psychology. So we'll just simply calculate that they are total 10 in numbers. So it means 2% signifies 10 professors. So 100% would be showcasing us 500 professors. So this is just the usage of the unitary method here, saves time. So total 500. Now again, on the basis of the pattern, we have to identify. So you have to closely monitor how these directions of these three arrows has been changing, and then in center one is circle and then square alternatively. So on that basis, this is the right answer, 57D. Now we have again passage on the basis of ecological research and then conservation of biodiversity. So 58 states, so what is the central focus of this passage? If you again go through it in just one go, you will able to easily identify it. It is talking about disruption of habitat and fragmentation related to that. So that is a central focus. In 59, we see what is the purpose of maintaining the continuity of the forested landscapes and corridors? So this is a little confusing between these two options. It is clearly stating preservation of biodiversity, so one will be there. And grant of forest lands for the human activities, it is rather negative. It should be the opposite. So 3 get eliminated, so C and D cannot be the right. Here, management of mineral resources can be one thing, but it is not being directly talked. So right answer is A option. 2 wouldn't be the right. So in 59, A is the right option. And in 60, so we are given with a rare coin collection. There is 1 gold coin for every 3 the non-gold coins. 10 more gold coins are added later on. Now ratio becomes 1:2 between gold and the non-gold coins. So based on information to find the total number of coins in collection, what would be the total number? So as per the answer key, the correct answer is 90 for 61. 60 this. So we make the equations. We made 2 equations on the basis of given information, whatever is given to us. Initially, if we say again, in every 3 non-gold coins, 1 would be the gold coins. So ratio becomes 1:3. So I simply made this equation that 1z plus 3y, it should be equal to x, which should be the total number of coins which are there. Now 10 more gold coins added, so x may we'll just add 10. New ratio is given 1:2. So new equation on the basis of this ratio should be this. I solved, and on that basis, y, which is the number of here, not the total number. It should be here 3y. If you put the value of 10, so non-gold coins will turn out to be 30. Then in this case, we'll divide this into group of 3 because for one, this because of this ratio simply, so we'll get 10 groups. So it means there is 1 gold coin in these 10 groups. So it means 10 gold coins are there, so z becomes 10. Now 30 plus 10 will be 40. 10 more coins are added, so according to me it should be 50, but again we'll recheck. So right option here is 90. Based on the information, total number of coins in the collection now. So either it is now talking in the sense that 50 is the total number of points of the second group. Maybe I may be interpreting this in wrong way. So we'll recheck. Now coming to 61, gardener has 10,000 plants, sorry, 1,000 plants. He wants to plant them in such a way that the number of rows and the number of columns remains the same. So what is the minimum number of trees that he needs more for this purpose? So important is asking minimum number of trees that would be required. So 1,000 plants are given, rows and columns are equal in number, and this is possible only when there is the perfect square, because this would be equal when again you will simply multiply two numbers, so two rows and two columns. So that is why we are saying it should be perfect square. Now since the value given is 1,000, so we just have an idea and think about the perfect square. For example, if you think about 30, the perfect square for this would be 900. Now next you'll look for 31 square and 32 per square. So that would be between the value of 1,000. So we need to calculate which value would be more than 1,000 next. So 32 square would be 1,024. Now 24 more plants would be needed. So it's 61. B is the right answer. 24. Now in 62, we are given with the sum of rupees 700 that is to be used to give 7 cash prizes to students of school for their overall academic performance, and each prize is rupees 20 less than its preceding price. We have to calculate the least value of the price. So I just simply calculated this on the basis of the options which are given to us. It is asking us the least value. So I started off with 30, that if we suppose 30 is the least value of the price, now we'll just keep on adding 20 to 30 means 30 plus 20 would be 50. That would be the next price value. 50 plus 20 70. So we'll do it 7 times because there are 7 students which are to be awarded. Now we'll just add up these values together in order to just check whether the total is coming out to be 700 or not, because we are given with the 700 is the total price value. So but it turns out to be 630. Now I'll calculate it for 40. So for 40 it is perfect 700 if 40 is the least value. So 40 plus 20 would be 60, plus 20 would be 80. So 40 becomes the least value of it. So for 62, B is right. 63, in this, we are given 120 applications for a post and 70 are male, 80 have the driver's license. So if we just go through this, 120 applications, male is given to be 70. So left we are 50. 50 would be females naturally. Then another information is people having driving license is given to be 80. Now it is asking us to find what is the ratio between minimum to the maximum number of males having the driver's license. So because we are given with the value that there are 80 people having the driving license, so minimum to maximum ratio has to be calculated. So what can be the maximum value for the males that can have the driving license? Because maximum number of males is 70. So maximum value would be 70 male members would be having the driving license. Now 10 are left, so 10 would be females because so total are 80. So likewise, here maximum value can be 50 because 50 females are there. So 50 females, if they have the maximum value, like if they have the driving license, so here we will get the minimum value on the opposite side. So this would be because total is 80, so 50 left 30. So we had to calculate the ratio for minimum to maximum. So 30 is to 70, 3 is to 7 is the right answer for 63rd question. 3 is to 7. Now for 64, we see that there's again in garrison there was food for 1,000 soldiers for 1 month. So for 1 month we'll take it to be 30 days. Normally it is taken to be 30 instead of 31. Then after 10 days 1,000 more soldiers they joined the garrison. And how long would the soldiers be able to carry on with the remaining food? So if we go into the calculations for question number 64, so we suppose that one soldier would be consuming 1 unit out of the total available food, and total units then we calculate would be 30,000 because 30 days it is stating that the food is sufficient for 30 days. And 1 unit, because we have again 1,000 soldiers, so we'll simply multiply 1,000 with 30. We'll get 30,000 total number of food units that we have for 30 days. Now, after 10 days, 1000 more soldiers are added. So, in first 10 days, when there are 1000 soldiers, we see that 10,000 units would be consumed. Simply multiply 1000 with 10. Now, left is total we have 30,000 minus 10,000 will be left with 20,000 units of food. Now, we have 2,000 soldiers. And we have to calculate that on 20,000 food units available, how long these 2,000 soldiers can survive. So we'll just simply divide 20,000 with 2,000 to calculate days, and that would be 10 days is what they can survive for. So total they can survive for 20 days, but that is not what being asked. So 64 D is right. In 65, now we see that a tank, which is a tank full petrol in Arun's motorcycle lasts for 10 days. The full tank lasts for 10 days. If he starts using 25% more every day, so how many days will the tank full petrol last? So for 65, we see full tank, which we assume again that is obviously the 100% that is given. 10 days it is going to last. So for one day, how much are we using? We are using 10%, or you can just say that if 100%, you can assume that suppose the full tank capacity is of 100 liters. So 10 liters would be used every single day for the next 10 days, so that completely the full volume is used, because that is given in the question. Now it states when 10 liter is being used every day, 25% more is if that is used every day. So we calculate 25% of 10 liters, that would be 2.5. So now the new volume that is being used every day would be 12.5 liters, because 10 was already there. 25% of this would be 2.5. We'll add, get it as 12.5 liters in one day would be used. Now we'll be calculating that for how long it will be lasting, because it is the consumption has increased. So for this case, 100 divided by 12.5 liters, because 100 was the total volume that we had, the full tank capacity. So when you divide, you will get 8 as the final value on for the simplification of this. For 65, D is the right answer. For 66, we see simply this does not need any kind of calculation. You can solve it through mental calculation, that a person can walk a certain distance, so walk and then drive back in 6 hours. He can also walk both the ways in 10 hours. So it means if we just simply break this down into two halves, both the sides the person is walking and time is 10 hours. So it means one side it is taking 5 hours to walk. And here, if it is walking one side, it means it will walk for 5 hours and drive back the second half of the distance. That is total time 6 hours. So it means for driving back, it will take 1 hour, and for walking, 5 hours. So it is being asked how much time will he take to drive both the ways. So we have calculated the time for walk and for driving separately. So for driving, if it takes one side 1 hour, so on both the sides it will take 2 hours. Now few passages again on the basis of the ethics related passages. So question 67. Here we see again, if you have gone through this, when Jim came home without his bicycle, his parents, they were worried. You can simply solve this 67B. Then we see that Jim, he returned the watch to the old man and the little boy because he was satisfied that the condition of the bicycle was fine, and he was satisfied with that. Another passage, so question 69. Author asked John to drive more slowly because road was not clearly visible. Here 70, the travelers set out for the town although it was getting dark, because again the next town was a short distance away and it promised a good rest for the night. So this is the right answer. For 71, we see that the travelers were worried after 20 kilometers because they probably feared of having lost their way. So this is the right answer here. Then 72, again on the basis of ethics, this passage is asking about, it was pointed out to the lady that she should walk on the pavement because she was pedestrian. This is the right answer. Then the lady refused to move from the middle of the street because she felt that she is entitled to do whatever she liked. So this is again a very simple paragraph. There will be no confusion here in solving this. And here the old lady failed to realize that her liberty was not unlimited. Next passage. So question 75. Now here we don't have the exact answer from the answer key. It is stating either it can be A or it can be C. So when you go through it, you can decide accordingly what would be the more appropriate one on your understanding. Here, 76, there are again two options given to us. So these are completely and purely ethics-based case studies. So you have to decide which decision is going to be more appropriate that will be going forward with. So in 76, also two options, either A or C, but I believe this is more appropriate. Take a note of the incident in a subsequently you'll report the matter to the concerned authorities. But two answers are given here in the official answer key. Then in 77, we have either C or D is correct. So can just go through these paragraphs once and tally your answers. Here it would be either B or C. So, okay, this is less appropriate. Then in 79, either it is A or C. So by offering incentives for adopting family planning devices, I felt this is more appropriate. You will offer incentives and people might get, they might agree with the ideas. Here it is just based on logically explaining. So there are less chances. That's why I opted for option C. In 80, it is either B or C. So here in this, explain to your colleague that this would be violating the trust of the university authorities and you are not in a position to help him. So these are all the questions. So we are completely done with 2013's CSAT paper. And thank you so much for joining us on Ansarkari. Stay tuned. On next Sunday, we'll be taking up the 2014 CSAT paper, first 40 questions. So you can be better prepared with them.